Hello, this is J.N.S, and I just want to do a video real quick on some events that's just been on my mind. Like nothing too serious. It's just I want to give my commentary on like the fever around this Leave the World Behind psyop. So as well as Kanye West rant that just I think he did that like yesterday or 2 days ago or something like that. But I want to talk about the Kanye West talking points that he had to say in his diatribe. I don't mean to like come off like saying it's a rant, but more so of his, of his diatribe that he just gave recently. And then I want to talk about a dream that I had, a prophecy that I had. That kind of leads me into like my review of the Leave the World Behind. Well, it's actually not a review. I don't want you guys to think that is a review of Leave the World Behind. It is a commentary, a breakdown of some esoteric codes, as well as how I feel this is a psyop. I'll give why I feel Leave the World Behind movie is a psyop. Very much so. I've listened to several reviews from different people, from with different perspectives. I also did look at all the spoilers because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not going to watch that movie. It's just to me the energy just was off. It just clashed with my energy, so it's a mismatch. But I did pick up from the spoilers the esoteric codes, as well as watch the reviews of other people. So I have enough to know, I can spot social engineering from a mile away anyway. So I don't need to watch the movie to know what's a psyop. But we'll talk about what it's all about, and so pretty much, to leave the world behind, they're giving like this harbinger, this warning of what's to come. They like we all know that the CIA is behind the media and movie propaganda in particular. So and from what I understand, this movie was funded, um and produced by certain people that have connections to politics and whatnot. That could be a rumor, but that's what I heard several people say as far as who the movie was produced by. So, anyways, beyond that, 'cause that actually has nothing to do with some of the codes that they put in the movie. It doesn't take away from the validity of the esoteric codes, but it is a psyop. And so we'll break that down. But pretty much they talk about, this foreboding of how the internet may shut down, how telecommunications and radio signals can go down. And then if it goes down, then there would be this mayhem, then there would be this panic, and, people would, resort to their savagery because of this internet being shut down. And then they show like the Tesla cars crashing into one another. That was a dig at Elon Musk, but they showed the Tesla cars, crashing in. And so it's supposed to give like this warning about like the dangers of technology and of being too clicked in with this matrix. Like what happens if the internet goes down, if this technology that we depend on so much, and many of us have an addiction to, what happens if that goes down? And so to me, it's like there's this talking point is nothing new. It's been niggas saying this for 40 years, warning about how if you're too clicked in with this matrix, if you don't know how to live off grid, if you don't know how to make a water filter, if you don't know how to grow your own food, if you don't know how to do, build an A-frame shelter, it's been niggas warning about that stuff for years. So for one, I don't see how like all of a sudden this movie is the movie that got y'all thinking about that. When it's like, okay, so the person that was on the corner that y'all called crazy all them years, that was talking about the dangers of technology, of how the surveillance state of technology, what happens if it shuts down, how all of the telecommunications, pose a danger to, society, all this stuff they was talking about. People just thought they were crazy. When people were talking about bunkering down and hunkering down and becoming these doomsday preppers. I'm one of those people that people was laughing at and my family thought was crazy. And I was telling them to get heirloom seeds and soil. And I was buying all these soil and all these seeds, hundreds of thousands of seeds. And everybody thought we was crazy. So, to me, I guess it's like you needed a Netflix movie to tell y'all that. It's just a little annoying, but if that's where people are at, you have to respect that. You can't really get too upset about that, right? So it's like, yeah, but for us, it's like we were called the conspiracy theorists, the loony people, but it's like the movie puts it out there. Now everybody's like, oh my gosh, they trying to tell us what's going to happen. We've been telling y'all that's what's going to happen. And for one, if that happens, Why does it have to be all of this gloom and doom? So you let this movie program you already in the 3D based consciousness to a state where if the technology does go down, if the internet goes down, y'all are already expecting division, already expecting a fight, already expecting to be at war with one another. That's a programming. That's why it's a psyop, because you're being programmed. So the internet goes down and the telecommunications go down, and that the only thing that humanity can think of is to fight and not to rebuild and not to get in power, not to think to do things for themselves. The only thing you can think of is white and black fighting with each other. Tension based, race based consciousness, 3D consciousness. And then we're going to get into the codes, because I really want you to stay for them codes, because all of this is way deeper. Is way deeper than 3D based consciousness thinking, which is what they want you to. They want the white people to be on edge because they threw a lot of codes about the Black American and the Moors, Black American Sephardic Moor prophecy that I've been talking about, that I talked about weeks ago on this channel. Apparently, the people at the top know what the hell is going on too. So I'm not the only one that people like to say, oh, Kylie crashed out, or she was talking all this stuff that's crazy, whatever. But these niggas know exactly what I'm talking about at the top, which I always knew that. That's who I communicate anyways. I don't communicate with 3D based niggas. But anyways, they threw out all of this stuff about, these tensions with, the black family and the white family, and then alluding to, the Moors, as well as the indigenous Maroons. They alluded to the 1619 ascent of some of those that came over here from that particular ship, that White Lion ship. They had all this stuff in the movie. The father's wife was from Morocco. She was in Morocco, rather. She was in Morocco. And so all of these are codes. All of these are light codes about the prophecy of what I was saying, that there would be the Sephardic Moorish bloodline of the Black American back in power to rule America for a time. And they would be obviously in the executive position of this country, but they also have indigenous light codes. They have tides, but the prophecy from the chaos intelligence realm is that they are to bring a period of peace into this world. And so what Hollywood does is they'll take the prophecy that they know and try to usher in their own agenda. And so what they're doing is we can use because they only stay in power through fear and division and through a low governing force. So they cannot get up to a certain vibration. And they notice, but humans do have the potential to get up there as far as these inorganic ones that run this system. And so humans have the potential to get up there. So what they do is they have to focus 24/7 on programming you. So they need you to be sort of on edge about, like, oh, the technology going down, the internet's going to go down. Oh my gosh, I have fear. Oh my gosh. And they talking about these black folks. They subliminal program the white folks to think, okay, why are they throwing all these codes about the Moors and Morocco and Black Americans and all this stuff? It's for one, it's 1,000 times deeper. On the 3D based surface level, earth level, yeah, you guys are thinking this is about the race thing and the race based consciousness. And actually it is, because what are white folks going to do? They're going to get programmed by what they always get programmed. They're very easily programmable. They're going to watch the movie, and the first thing they're going to think in their head is, okay, well, how do we keep power? We need to prepare. We need to prepare for a fight. We need to prepare for the ascent of them getting back in power. The Sephardic Moors getting back in power. And so we need to hunker down. We need to, stop this from happening. And so this is what they think. That's why you see the commentary from the white folks. They're very upset at this movie. They got them talking about how it's a woke movie. It's against white folks and all. And this was all by design. Perfect planning, perfect programming of your asses to get. This is exactly what they wanted to. They wanted the white folks mad at the movie. They wanted the black folks a little on edge. They wanted everybody on edge about internet and technology going down. And it's like, oh my gosh, like this movie is 100 years behind, by the way. It's so off in terms of what is actually going to play out on this planet. It already played off, but again, some of us from the future come back to kind of direct things energetically. And so, yes, this is going to be a very esoteric breakdown. Prepare to bunker your hats down, because we're going to go deep. And I have to say, what I say in this movie, you can find information on it. You would need to have some background and understanding electromagnetism, plasma, the basics of frequency and signals and radio signals and communications, molecular action. You need a little bit of background on that. And I'll explain it as much as possible. But if you guys want more information, there's tons of information on this stuff that I'm going to break down because it is way deeper. Because here's the thing: you got the 3D based world, right? Earth based that it plays a 3D, 5D, whatever. We're trying to go into 5D. We're ushering this planet. The Watchers are ushering this planet onto 5D first, then 7D, 12D. But what they put out with the powers that this Netflix shit, they want you still guys on the 3D consciousness. So yes, they want you to, the sphere thing of the internet. But what we have a whole nother, we thinking like, what in the world are they showing these people? And they're twisting the prophecy to try to usher, because this is how you usher in programming. This is how you craft a narrative. You craft a narrative through the propaganda, through your brain horns of what you're going to see on the television or what you're going to see on the streaming, rather, which is the Netflix, which is the new form of like television. So it's programming, high level programming. Which is high level hecka. It's high level hecka, believe it or not. So when you have control over the distribution of the media, and that media. Media was a god at one point. You have distribution control over what you can put on the media and what you can propagandize in terms of what people will see with their eyes. And so to me, the reason why I say that this is a psyop is because they want what the potential to be at a 5 to 12D consciousness to turn into 3D nonsense. They need you to stay at the 3D level, especially Black Americans. They want the white folks and the Black Americans, but this is a kind of an American-based movie, so we're keeping it in America. They want you guys to be at a 3D level, so where y'all fighting with each other, you got these tensions. You can't even see a big ass portal open to 12D that you could pretty much program and control yourself, especially that Black American. As far as that prophecy of the Black American getting in that White House and ruling America for a period of time, oh, that is happening. There's no doubt that that's going to happen. Now, do anybody need to be on edge about that? Do you need to be in a race-based consciousness mode where y'all fighting and divided by race or divided? No, you actually don't need to usher in that programming. You don't need to usher in that tension. You can totally usher for the prophecy. The only way you will be able to get at that level of power, Black American, is if you are righteous and if you are authentic and have integrity and keep true to your word of what you say you're going to do for this country and for Black Americans. And if you have the light codes, because this is spiritual. And what we got to understand is everything that happens on this dimension is going to play off in other dimensions in parallel. And I don't want to say the word parallel universe, but in parallel interdimensionality. And so what you'll see on 3D play out with the race-based stuff and with the with the tensions and the internet and stuff going off and the telecommunications going off. Say in 5D, 6D, 12D, in the spiritual realm, it'll play out differently. It'll play out with the same sort of concepts, but it'll play out in a different manner. And so that's important because we need to break down why in the world are they showing this Black family that rents out this house to this white family, this Airbnb. We're going to get into Airbnb. Oh God. And so we'll get into that. And these are all codes for very much deeper complexes than what you would see on the surface. So if you're in the 3D thinking, the 3D thinking will have you guys, okay, yeah, oh my gosh, internet's going to shut down. What are we going to do? We have to prepare. You're not prepared. Oh my gosh, they throwing these codes about Black people getting back in power, these Moors, this 1619, these slave ships, this white line, this recompense. The girl in the movie talking about you can't trust white people. Oh my God, white people on edge. Oh, white people nervous. Da, da, da. That's the 3D based thinking they want you. Oh, mayhem. Break humanity at each other's throats. That's the 3D thing. That's what you want to do, the 3D thing. They also are letting you know, for those who are in the occult and for those who got some knowledge of shit, so esotericists, regardless of what religion and background you come from, whatever race you're from, they are confirming some deeper codes that the Black women been saying for years, and we was looking out. Y'all try to say that some of the women that came before me who were saying the same thing about the electromagnetism and how to get out this stratosphere and the increase of melanin that you're gonna have to have. We're gonna get into all of that. I actually don't want to break that down yet because we need to get into I want to build up to that. I want to build up to that. But I do want to say first and foremost that whatever they're promoting in this movie, as far as like this fear-based consciousness, you do not have to manifest it as humanity. So if the internet and telecommunications, radio signals, and technology do go down, you'll be perfectly fine. You could actually manifest a world where you will be fine. Where you can pick up where right when you left off. If there's an increase of radiation, you guys are freaking out about the increase of radiation. Those are all codes. You don't have to manifest a world in which you guys are at each other's throats because of a breakdown in society. If a breakdown in society happens, you can raise your vibration to a level enough where if you see 3D going out of style, because that's pretty much what it's showing you. 3D is going to die. 3D Earth vibration for frequency is being ushered out. So yes, you're going to see on a 3D room, you're going to see a lot of chaos, whatever. You don't have to manifest it. You don't have to be at that level. And so for those of us that's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 20 and beyond or whatever, because there are some beings, and we're going to get to them beings that came here, that's beyond 45D. They are not living. They will not be living that reality. They will not be living in any fear-based consciousness. They will not be living in any race-based consciousness. We talking about of all genders, of all colors, by the way, of all ethnicities. They will not. For those that get there, that are on individually, of course, they will not be thinking about scarcity. They will not be thinking about they don't have food. They worry. They won't be thinking about none of that. They will not be worried about food. They will not be worried about none of that bullshit that you guys are worried about. The grocery, they will not be running to a panic to the grocery stores to try to buy up everything because they freaking out. Or, oh my gosh, the government. Oh my gosh. Those niggas will not be thinking about that. Those of us that's like beyond, at least at the 5D level, we would be looking like, you got a choice. Humanity has a choice. Humanity has a choice. Y'all let that movie program y'all, and y'all act a panic fool because of a breakdown in society. Go ahead. But for those of us that know better, we like, nah, we not doing it. For one, shit, Americans, we fat as hell. Like we need, for one, we don't need to be worried about food. Some of you can live for 3 weeks without food and just off the sun. So all this panicking about food and hunkering down and going to the grocery stores and freaking out. Americans, you could stand to go on a 3-week, 4-week fast. Many of us. We can go without food for mad motherfucking long times, as big as Americans are. We talking 3, 4 weeks, 6 weeks without food. You ever watch the show Survivor? You see how on Survivor, they be going for 37 days without food. Look how little they eat. Look how little water they got. And they survive, and they be performing all those challenges. So if there was a breakdown in society and the grocery store shut down or whatever, for one, you niggas should have a book on foraging. Obviously you should stock up on your seeds and your soil and your freeze dried foods that last for 35 years. They got all types of companies that sell this stuff. We've been talking about. I had a whole video 3 years ago talking about this, by the way, about warning about all this stuff and like, come on. So, you be able to get all that stuff, right? But even if you're not prepared, let's say you just one of them niggas that just didn't prepare, or you can't get to your storage, or you can't, whatever. It's a breakdown. You can't even get to your storage to get your stuff. Foraging, especially if you're in the South, plenty. Oh my gosh, the Georgia, Texas, Florida. You go in your backyard, how much food you got? Even in New York, believe it or not. Even in New York, believe it or not. And I got some Army manuals and all types of. I should probably give this stuff out for free, by the way. But I got all types of manuals that was published about foraging. If for the soldiers that get lost in fucking woods and all this stuff, they got all types of books and manuals that been published out that let you know like which plants are safe to eat, what plants you don't go near, with pictures of them and everything. Foraging. So even if you wanted, so say you don't have, the funds right now to just stock up, because on freeze dry food, it's expensive now. This stuff is expensive now. So maybe when you one of the Black Americans, it ain't in my budget right now. You just go online and you start printing out the manuals, and you can go Just type in like survival manual guides for foraging, and look at them PDFs. And you start, if you can print them out now, if you can just save it to a flash drive or whatever, and you start looking at them pictures of the foraging of whatever city you're in the South. Especially if you're in the South, I'm not gonna hold you. It's gonna be easy as fuck to do this. It's gonna be harder if you're in the North. But if you're in the South, lucky you. Lucky you. South Carolina, North Carolina. Oh, you got a backyard. You've been in the woods. You're not in the city. Oh, you'd be good. And you better start, if for those of us that's why I always promoted those intentional communities, those silos of consciousness based on resonance. I kept saying these things, the books I've been publishing with certain barter economies, certain parallel infrastructures that Black Americans could build if there was a breakdown in society. That whole book, the Queen Mothership Part 2, was written from the standpoint of rebuilding from scratch, literally, from the economic, from your defense to everything. Was from what happens if you don't have money? What happens if there's a breakdown? All the way from the irrigation, water, all the procuring water, all this stuff, it's in the book. And, obviously this stuff is shadow banned. And y'all niggas try to get me out the paint. The gatekeeper, the boule gatekeeper, and a booty lick oath takers try to, get me out of paint because they don't want Black American. They in this shit for a bag. They in this empowerment stuff like for a bag, and they do voice for the government. So they didn't really want y'all listening to me because they were scared shitless of the stuff I was putting out and the stuff that I still say and the stuff that I still continue to put out. Even though they be studying it and applying it at the high levels, they don't want the average Black American to apply it to themselves. But makes no mistake that they are this stuff in this movie, and the codes they put in this movie, they communicating to people like us. The ones that are not on the it's the 3D stuff. They put all the 3D stuff in there to get you guys all worked up, to get you guys all like in fear base, whatever, about the technology, whatever. But for those of us that's like past 5D and past 7D, they're letting us know like, fuck your prophecy. From the chaos intelligence room, they letting the watchers know like, no, we trying to program these niggas this way. Y'all trying to bring in floodgate this planet with this vibration of 520D consciousness. If there's some 45D beings on this planet right now that just came in this week, by the way, we'll talk about that. But y'all trying to do one agenda, and they letting us know like, no, we still got the hearts and minds of these niggas' consciousness. When we ready to start a war, and we ready to have them divided, and we ready to shut these grocery stores down and cut off this internet and cut off this, these niggas about to act a fool, and we love it because this is how Lucifer run. The homunculus version of Lucifer, by the way. And so they letting us know, but they also letting us know, yeah, we know that we can't tap into the reservoir of the electromagnetism of the Black folk melanin no more. And so we letting the white folks know, they threw some codes at the watchers. They threw some codes at us from those from the chaos intelligence realm. Like, yeah, we see what y'all trying to do with the radio signals, and so what? But we got to plan. I'm gonna address that. And so, again, you don't have to manifest 3D based fear for 3D based division. Any American, I go for any American, but particularly the Black American. Yes, you will be back in power as the Moors. The Moors are already Black nobility stuff, man. We're gonna get deep into who really runs this shit in this video as well. So, yes, the Black American prophecy, that still stands. However, if white people want to be on that 3D base low level shit and be like, oh my gosh, we got to fight to prevent Black American from getting in the White House, or prevent the Black American from influencing foreign policy and government policy. If they want to be on that low level 3D based thinking, and they feel like they got to have this race war or whatever, or their way of life is coming to an end because of Black American, because the Moors are back in power, then I would tell the Black American, you got to see them for the infant race that they are. And it's not going to be all white people that go into that consciousness. It's not all white people that think like that, right? And so you got to keep that in mind too, because make no mistake about it. You will be back in. You already are. You just can't. The time lag is the lag is different on this planet, so you can't see things play out the way other people from a higher dimension can see it faster. And so the Moors are already back in power. Make no mistake about it. And when we say Moors, we are talking about a specific code. It's not just Moorish, obviously. It is a royal bloodline. That is Sephardic. That's the sin of the dragon riders and the interdimensional beings that have been ruling over you guys from the chaos intelligence realm. It is deeper than just a Black American. When we say Moors, we are talking about that they have inherently the Indian blood as well. And so when I say the Moors, because it stems from a bloodline specifically from the descendants of the dragon riders. So they have a Sephardic code that's ushering in the prophecy, but they do have it also from the Indian as well. And this is a Black American. These are Black Americans. Okay, so when I say the Moors are in power, the thing is, we can get mad at the Moors all we want. The Moors are on some fuck shit. I call it all the time. I'm tired. I get sick of what the Moors have done. But we do know, for some of us that is in the know and that have did our genealogy, and the Indians call us the Black Europeans. The thing is, some of us are both. You can't make us choose one side or the other because we are literally both. And so we will not be able to choose if we wanted to. Our DNA won't allow us. The bloodline won't allow us. So that's why some of the Indians used to get so upset at me, because they're like, you need to choose, you need to pick a side, because these DNAs are these bloodlines are gonna fight with one another. And we know that the Indians feel slighted by the Black Indians feel slighted by the Moors, the Black indigenous, because yes, they had something to do with their enslavement and swapping of their identity with the fucking Africans. And I ain't got no beef with no Africans. But this is all real. And so when it came to me, it was like they were pick a side. I'm like, I can't pick a side because I see both. I know that it's both in the bloodline and they're fighting. They're at war with one another within the DNA. And so it's like, I made peace with, I just accept it. But when I say, yes, the Moors will be back in power, this is an amalgamation of DNA. It transcends 3D thinking. It transcends Earth thinking. We get into the galactic sense of this. For the sake of this video, I won't get too much into that because you guys are not ready for that. But all you need to know is Black Americans that are going to be not just running America. They'll be pretty much in control of the entire world. In terms of the families that they will answer to them, because again, these bloodlines that's getting in there, they're not fully human. Okay. And you guys know, if you're in the know, you know what I'm talking about. They're not fully human anyway. So they have some power pretty much, and they don't need monetary power. They don't need the monetary power. Like, oh, the families of the 6 families that run the world with the trillions of that. That's nothing compared to what we're talking about. It's nothing. That literally means nothing to us. Because they were the front for the Black nobility that has been secretly running this shit anyways. The ones that are half, oh man, I don't even know if I should be getting into this. The ones that are half human and half, what else? You already know. They're not fully human either. And they are the ones that whole regime has been being run out of power. So it's not just you got the system of white supremacy fading, but I'm telling you, the system of white supremacy is ran by the system of Black nobility. Those were the Moors that got corrupt. They are not fully human. Those are the ones that made the pacts and the deals on the bloodlines, on the heads of the Africans and the Black Americans to sell your asses into slavery and colonization for power, not just worldly power of money. We're talking about God power. Like the power to run this entire system and have shadow governments and have fall families take the fall for shit. Like the families that y'all say run the world in BlackRock and the trillions and those are the fall guys, or those are the face of that are running that you think are really running it, right? And I'm telling you that there are Black Moors that are the hands of this, but they're not fully human. They have the blood of the interdimensional beings that were the fallen angels, and by proxy, yes, descendants of dragon riders, but they are corrupt. And that system, because the primordial mother, what you call a Godhead, is pushing that whole system out. The white supremacist system, the fake sellout, Black nobility, boule, gatekeeper, oath taker energy, all of them niggas gotta go. Everybody from that system is being ushered out. So it's not just this, oh, the white supremacy is dying, it's going. Oh, you corrupt ass niggas is going too. You corrupt ass patriarchal niggas that sold the African out, that sold the Indian out, that sold the black woman out, that overthrew the queen mothership, all that whole system is gone. Because we all know that this gets very spiritual. This gets very spiritual. Like we talk about like the solar man and Solomon making all of the having power through control of these rings and these pentacles and these packs and stuff. They put it all in front of you. They just hide the codes and stuff. It's all coded. But yes, melanated people did this shit. They got involved in that shit and sold our bloodlines out to be enslaved for and all this stuff. Yes, it was all prophecy, but you got to figure, just because you throw a prophecy out there, the details within a prophecy are not all given. And so yeah, it would say, oh, you be sold for a period of 400 years because you disobeyed, oh God, or whatever. They don't tell you that because you overthrew the queen mothership, or because it was the curses of the Sibyls and oracles, or it was because the melanated man make the pacts with the interdimensional fallen beings, fallen angels, on your head to get his to get power. But the black nobility classes put the white folk in front of it to run the thing, and that's why when y'all was calling the Indians crazy, because the Indians was coming at the heads of the black Europeans. That's why the Indians hated the freedmen so much. That's why they couldn't stand the black Europeans. That's why they was getting upset at me, because they were like, you over there with the black Europeans too, and you half black European. Yes, it is a bloodline thing, and that's why the Indians were saying it's a bloodline thing. It has nothing to do with this race thing, because it's black nobility running the system. Yes, it was corrupt black nobility running it. And so what's happening now is we're getting the black nobility back in there, but not the corrupt one. And they're going to be out in the open. They're not going to be hiding behind the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and all that, and they're hiding behind BlackRock. They don't be hiding. No, y'all niggas going to be out right in the front. You're going to tell these people the truth. It's all going to be out. And the righteous Moorish, Indian, blacks are going to be the ones that get the throne next. Tell the truth. And so when and it's not, and all of this stuff, even with the Zionists, all that's all shadow. That's, how do we say that? That's all front. It's all a front for what's really going on behind the scenes. What's really happening. And it does take levels of, again, you have to be multidimensional to see this, because it's like parallel. It's like parallel. I don't want to say universe, because it's not parallel universe, but it's parallel timelines that play out simultaneously. And so the lags come out differently. Everything that I'm saying is already playing out in terms of like Black Americans in particular becoming more aware that this system is not all black and white. And now that we have this talk about like, okay, everybody realizing, the indigenous talking points are not too crazy after all. The Moorish talking points are not too crazy after all. The Hebrew Israelite talking points are not too crazy after all. Is all the information correct? No. It's all of the information. You got people that send agents that'll give you misinformation and shit, and all of these silos of consciousness, right? But you can reconcile just from a study of pre-colonial history and a study of hidden history and a study of esoteric occult knowledge, and you will see the divergence and a convergence of all of these different schools of thoughts. And they can be reconciled, or you can parse through the information to see what's real, what's true, and what's bullshit, what resonates and what doesn't resonate. And so the prophecy of the Black American ascent, yes, they will be back in the forefront. They are. I'll keep it a buck. The Black nobility class, and it was I think it was the Reveal report that they was talking about, like the families that run the world. And I would never forget Jesse. If you watch the Reveal report, it's a YouTube channel. Jesse literally says, I think that's just I think there is some other stuff behind the scenes that goes on, and they put these families out there. Them families answer to interdimensional beings. Those interdimensional beings are half human, they're melanated, and they're half fallen angel. Let's just get it out there. And obviously they answer to Lucifer, the kid version of the there's two. I don't even, that's too esoteric. We ain't getting into that. But they answer to who they think is the real Lucifer. But yeah, it gets deep. It's deep. I know. I know. I know. But and so let's get little bit back into this. I want to stay on topic. So so yes, the Black American Sephardic Moorish Indian blood will be back in out in the front and open, but they are required to usher in this golden age of America. They are required by spiritual law, by universal law. They are required to usher in a golden age of America and peace among a period of peace on this planet. That is not 3D consciousness, not 3D base. So they are going to be out in the open. So what the power structure tried to do, and this is for Black Americans who kind of are in the politics space that kind of know what's going on. What the power structure tried to do is they try to hurry up and prop up a class of Black Americans that are seemingly about like a Black empowerment, but they were to be power brokers over Black Americans. But in reality, they would work with the system. They were to trick the average, and this is not the Boule class. This is a different group of Blacks, by the way. This is not the Boule. That's too easy. They wanted to get prop up these reparation niggas, like these people that's acting like they for reparations and shit. The Freemans. To make it seem like, okay, this would be the group, because these are people that have more background. Our government was like, let's hurry up and get them, as the power structure, and really they work with us, but the Black Americans think that they are the one that's working for them, that's going to fight for reparations, blah, 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 blah. Oath takers who are Moorish by blood, but they're not Sephardic. They don't have all of the codes, so they don't fit the prophecy. So pretty much our government knows what's going on, so they hurried up and tried to get a group in front of it and prop them up through like with the California task reparations and all this stuff with the reparation task force with all these certain Black folks that have Moorish background that work for them, though, that work for their side. And they're pretty much they're oath takers, so they're not going to usher in the prophecy properly. So our government knows about the prophecy. That's why they put out Cornel West. They know. They just trying to figure out how to get in front of it. How can they manufacture this golden age, but the Great Reset, but it's a fake one. So they're trying to reverse it, what the Watchers already have played out. So what's going to happen, what happened with the Freedmen stuff, that's why the Black Americans kind of like, nah, we ain't really feeling them Freedmen. The FBA wasn't feeling them. ADOS wasn't feeling them. The Black Indigenous wasn't feeling them, because they kind of knew like, it had a bureaucratic energy behind it. It had a bureau. You could feel something manufactured, psyop about it. So they don't fit the prophecy. And so they won't be the ones to run. What we're talking about, when the Watchers talk about beings from the Chaos Intelligence, where I'm talking about, we're going to be out in the open, and the Black American is going to be out in the open, and they're going to usher in this age of the golden age and the age of prosperity for their people, for their bloodline, as well as America and the entire world. We're not talking about phony, fake niggas that's acting like they for reparations, but really they in secret societies and they oath takers and they work for the government. We're not talking about those type of niggas. We're just not. And so we're not talking about people who are not going to do nothing for Black Americans. So yes, like Cornel West would actually technically fit the picture, right? The thing is, the requirement by universal law, by the primordial mother, is that they look out for the group of people who have built this country, who have been at the bottom. They look out for the Black American. That is the requirement, that you look out, that you have some tangibles and you have some things and policies and programs for them so that they get caught up. Because we all know that this system has based on racial stratification and marginalization. We all know about the racial wealth, but we already know this shit. Everybody knows it. And so the requirement by universal law, by the karma from the energy from Saturn, is like, this is what has to happen. The Black American has to have things on the book, and you can also be the president and be the candidate or be the politicians that bring in this golden age for America in terms of the economy, military, education system, all of that. All that got to be reworked. The manufacturing, the infrastructure, the corporations, all of that. Yes, you would have to be a candidate that deals with all aspects of American policy. And so the movie alludes to like, the Moors, and whatnot, and the Black Americans. But again, they're trying to usher in a set of Psyop, a program. And so what our government tried to do with trying to pick certain Black Americans to be in front of it that are not necessarily Boule, they're not Sephardic, so they don't fit the prophecy to rule the country. The Black American Sephardic Moors have a very specific bloodline. They have a DNA. It's a light code of the Chaos Intelligence Realm, which means they have the DNA of all of the pretty much the, how do I say this? And I know we're not there yet. I know I'm about 100 to a couple hundred years ahead of my time with this, but they have the DNA of multiple galactic species. Many of you already know about the hybridization of Homo sapien, but we just don't get into the galactic sense of things yet. We still talk about more of the scientific aspects of DNA and whatever, and that's fine. That's fine. But those beings, the Black Americans that get back in power, they are righteous individuals. They will bear a golden age for America and restore the melanated social structures. They will not be causing wars or divisions based on 3D race-based consciousness. And so, even though our government try to hurry up and usher in the freedmen's up in there, the freedmen wars, that's it's not going to work because God's hand is not on it. And even we talk about, when we talk about God's, even the ones that you answer to, the child version of that octave of the energy that you think actually runs the universe. I'm talking to the ones that the programmers that program shit, because I know they watch everything. They study my stuff, so I know that I'm talking to them. That shit is not going to work. Even that being defected from the plan that you guys had, that being that you guys take your orders from. Now, the homunculus octave of that being that you guys take, that's fighting, that satanic energy, that Satanism shit, that energy is going to lead you guys off of a cliff. But the energy, the octave above that created those energies, the fallen angels that created those energies that you answer to, they are defecting from that plan. And that is why you deals with you guys go to the Goetia. You guys love summoning up them demons to go after certain Black Americans, to go after me, to go after, and then shit happen. Now you know why shit not happening. They are defecting from the plan that you guys had. They're defecting from the prophecy, the Psyop that you try to usher in, and going with the prophecy of the primordial mother. That's what's happening. That's why your shit's not working. That's why it's not working. That's why we summon the demons and this shit. It's like, oh my gosh, what the hell? Because they're defecting from the plan. And I'm talking to the occultists. I'm talking to the niggas that the politicians and the niggas that's in the occult. We all know this. Yeah, it's deep. And so make no mistake, the Black American will be in the White House. Will it be Cornel West? If you don't have something specific for the Black American, no, it ain't gonna be Cornel West. Even though he talks about peace. Hold on a second, guys. Even though, hold on one second. Let me just pause this because I gotta do something real quick. I'll be right back. I just gotta pause this. Okay, I'm back. Because this is important. So, you know, Okay, let's continue. So even though Kanye West, not Kanye, Cornel West, we talking about like all peace and justice for everybody, the underbelly. We want to do right and all that's great talking points, right? Like on paper, it's like okay, he'll be a great candidate. What he's missing is those policies for the Black American. He get that down pat, and speak for America and righteousness for America, and the things that he wants to do for America as far as the things he wants for everybody, that's fine. But if he don't have something for his people, then he's not getting in there, because what's going to propel them is his people. So they're not really feeling, the grassroots is not really feeling Cornel West. It's all right, but it's like he gotta work on it. He gotta come back to the drawing board, and he ain't gotta be all loudmouth with it or make a spectacle out of it. He just gotta have a plan. You see, Trump put out his plan for the platinum plan for Black Americans, and it needs more. It definitely needs work, Trump, but it's a start. It need work. But Kanye West do something like that, put it out there. He ain't gotta go on the news all loudmouth talking, going up reparation. Come on, just something real, and you get it out there, and Black America can look at it or whatever. We say, oh, okay. So that's what needs to happen. And whoever is able to bring peace to the world, have usher in that golden age of innovation and prosperity for America, with the governance of the knowing about the age of divine feminine, then God will literally put who has that agenda in those positions, whether it's male or female. That's how it happened. And so we see the movie tries to warn the white people about this, to start these tensions, these race tensions, for a prophecy that can either go in a high vibrational sense, or you can usher in that 3D shit you saw in that movie, fighting and break down the society and panicking and fear. You guys want to usher in that shit? Usher in that shit. That's on you. But the rest of us, we're gonna be building silos of conscience. We're gonna be fine. And if we don't have food, or we'll forage, and if we don't have, we're not going to be freaking out. We know the transpiration method of how to collect water without a dam if they cut the water off. We know how to collect water from the sun and plants. We know how to do this shit. So we good. And they tell you that you need food every day and shit. You don't need no food every motherfucking day. And when I get under spiritual attack, I literally go 2 weeks without no food. And I love to eat, but I will go. I will not eat nothing. I have literally went 2 and 3 weeks without food when I needed, and it wasn't like a planned fast. It was just like my soul just didn't want no food. I just didn't want to eat. That's just what it was. But if something like that happened and you ain't got no, don't panic, don't freak out. Your ass can go for three weeks. Just raise your vibration and sit out in that sun. And if you need water, you start to look up the transpiration method of getting water. It don't have to be a whole breakdown in society where you panicking and freaking out. As far as the telecommunications and radio signals, you could definitely communicate. Oh, come on, that's you can do that shit through your mind. Like I ain't trying to. I know that's way too deep for people, but they gotta come on. I try to say I'm crazy, whatever, but they got books on this stuff, psychomancy, psychic power commands, of psychomancy. A book is like about $3,000 now. Come on, they don't want you knowing about this shit. Wake your ass up. They don't want nobody knowing about this stuff. Your ass could communicate radio signals just through your motherfucking mind. Come on, I have done it. They have literally tried to shut me down multiple times from doing that shit. Yeah, they was very angry that I figured out how to do that stuff on my own without being initiated into nothing. And there's plenty of Black Americans that can do that. Plenty. I know they can. I know for a fact they can. You guys know they can. I might be the one on the outs. I think I'm the Johnny come lately. I really do. I think I'm the Johnny come lately when it comes to this stuff. I think that other people already been new. I really think I'm the Johnny come lately. And I think that the other people are just sworn under like a secrecy or something where they can't talk about it. But I think y'all might know more about it than I do. So I'm like, why is Black Americans freaking out? They watch the movie and I'm seeing you Black Americans stuff. I was like, oh, what's going to happen when the internet go down? Like, how we going to communicate? Nigga, why are y'all acting like y'all don't communicate in y'all dreams with each other in telepathy? Cloak your thoughts, cloak your radio signals, cloak your pineal. You can do all these things. You guys already know this stuff. So I don't even know why y'all acting like it freaking out. Maybe that's just a play. Maybe that's just a play. To act like y'all freaking out, like y'all don't know what the hell y'all gonna do. That's a part of it. That's a part of playing down your power and your intelligence. Maybe that's just it. And again, I really suspect that I may be, and I could be wrong, but I suspect that I could be the Johnny Come Lately on all of this. I know for a fact that there's Black Americans that communicate telepathically. For a fact, I know for a fact that Black Americans know how to manipulate the molecular action of the electromagnetic fields and radio signals. I know for a fact that they can do that. I know for a 110% one. You know how on Maury when they say I'm 1,000% sure that's the father. I am 1,000% sure that motherfuckers can do this. So what is y'all freaking out about the internet and stuff going down for? Bitch, you are the internet. You are the internet. What is the internet? Just a certain bandwidth of frequency waves. You are a walking light ray. You give off radiation. You can harness your infrared rays. Your thoughts, your consciousness can be sent over like a radio signal. It can't penetrate solids, but it could be. I'm sorry, you can't. Radio waves can penetrate. Radio signals can't penetrate solids and gases. It's infrared rays that can. But come on, why are you guys acting like? And if you guys want more information on it, you guys go get that Psychomancy book. Try to find it. You can get the PDF somewhere. I have the PDF, but they selling this book for like $3,000 now, $4,000 now. Before that book even came out, I figured out a way how to do that without even having to read that book. But like, you know, people like to say, oh, certain people that talk like this, oh, they crashed out. Nah, the niggas that's trying to tell you that a person that would even say that, the first thing you need to think is that person knows what the other person is saying is true, and they're trying to prevent. They're an agent trying to prevent other people from awakening to that knowledge. That's what it be. Like if somebody try to come and tell, oh, Kylie is talking this and da. She talking about psychomancy and psychic and all this stuff about the molecular action, electromagnetic magnetism. That's not real. That's not real. That's not real. That's the motherfucker that's paid to tell y'all that. So y'all don't look that way. So that y'all don't go and discover that power. But again, I personally think that I may be the Johnny Come Lately when it comes to this. And I just think that since I'm a renegade, that I'm out speaking out about this stuff because I'm a renegade and I come from a dimension where none of this stuff is supposed to be secret anyways. And so that I really suspect that's what it is. But anyways, humanity, again, you can move past the 3D based consciousness. You can usher in heaven on earth. And so if the things do crash down, you can work together and you can rebuild. But again, if you guys want to be divided, you want to be scared and fight against one another based on race, that's your business. It's sad, it's ridiculous, but even so, we will take the people that are not on that level, that are not on that low level, they're going to be siloed into communities where you don't have to fight, where you are working together, where you are working based on consciousness. And even if you do want, to stay based on like your ethnicity or like say because white people, they're very identified with content. They're very still ego identified, mind identified. And so say if there are white people that, well, I only want to work with white people because they're really scared of like genetic annihilation or some shit like that. Yeah, you can do that, but you don't have to fight. You don't have to go after. You don't have to feel like you gotta attack Black Americans or Black folk or any other race of people. You want to stay in your own little town and city because it's your own, and you feel you identify with a skin color. Go ahead and do that. And I ain't mad at you. I don't get mad because white people don't want to be around my people. I'm good because I'm like, I like to, everybody have a comfort. Everybody got a preference because I prefer to be around like-minded based on consciousness, but I'm very, very familiar and feel more comfort around Black Americans. Now, I've had an awakening where I found out, a lot of the Black Americans, they were plotting. Some of them were plotting on me, so my heart is still, a little hurt by that. But generally speaking, for my whole life, I have been around my own people, and I always felt comfortable with it. I actually don't feel comfortable around energy that is in that race-based mind, like a group of people that would still be egoic around phenotype, particularly like white people. And again, not all white people are on that. But for the ones that are, and it's a lot, I personally don't want to be around that energy. That's just common sense. I don't want to be around an energy that wouldn't want to be around, somebody that's because of their skin color. I can't relate to that. That's certainly too low level for me. And so, I prefer people that are expanded in consciousness. That's just me. So the movie is a psyop. We have been saying this stuff for years, warning you about the increase of the ascent of radiation and whatnot, and what needs to happen. And so they also in the movie they allude to the. Let me make sure that my grocery didn't come yet. Oh shoot! Hold on, guys. I gotta get my grocery. Okay. Um. So they allude to the increase of radiation and what will be needed to leave the stratosphere. Okay, and this is all very coded. This is very coded, and so they do that with the references to Black Americans, and then they show on this radio on this telecommunication device the code 1619, and so that alludes obviously to the radio signals and telecommunications. Then they talk about the technology going down, the internet going down. This is a code for soul plasma, the plasma, the electric plasma, as well as the plasma from the solar flares of the sun. So there's electromagnetism at play, but they're talking about the soul plasma also of Black Americans, and they're warning people. Pretty much, this is where we talk about like how the Watchers and communicate and how occultists communicate. The white people are pretty much they have to gain a certain amount of melanin if they want to leave the stratosphere. They have been in the past, they've been able to blood sacrifice Black Americans, particularly Black American women or Africans and Africans as well, or hitch a ride off of Black Americans through blood contracts, through blood oaths. They will no longer be able to do that. And as we see the increase of radiation, alludes to the increase of the solar flare radiation from the plasma from the sun, piercing our magnetosphere, as well as so there's this increase of melanin as well. Anytime you get an increase of radiation, you get an increase of melanin. They just go hand in hand. It's just natural to the universe. You will not get an increase of radiation unless you get an increase of melanin. That's a code. When you talk about the 1619 Africans, the Moors, the radio signals, the ships, the telecommunications is a code for the Black American soul plasma. So it's coded. And so they're telling the white folks, look, you're not going to be able to leave the stratosphere through, and it's not just the average white folk. It could be looked at as the average. We talking about a certain those in the power positions, like say the CEO, the executives of these companies, or whatever. particularly in the entertainment industry. You won't be able to blood sacrifice the Black American women or hitch a ride off of Black Americans through the blood contracts anymore. You have to do it the old-fashioned way. And if they are too stupid to not see that, then pretty much you get what you get. But that radiation will hit this planet and will be very, very strong. And that's also a prophecy. They're trying to twist their prophecies, but this is the prophecy. The real prophecy is the radiation is going to hit the planet, and it will be so strong that pretty much the increase of melanin, or everybody's going to grow darker. Everybody's going to get darker. And that is how you believe the stratosphere. Now, the more is going to get back in power, whatever, and they allude to the sexual tensions between the Black American and the white family. Like you see the white boy masturbating over the Black girl, sexual tension between the father and Julia, and even the whole code of the white family renting the house from the Black family, the Airbnb, the house. That is your electromagnet. That's a code for the electromagnetism access. So the white folks are renting the house of the Black family. And when things go awry, the family comes and tells them that they're going to, you rented from us. We understand. We're going to stay in the basement. You can stay in the upper part. It's a code. It says Airbnb space. Air. Look at the logo for Airbnb. It's down. Doesn't that look like the Mason compass? Travelers? White family rents the house from the Black family. White if you go to Black from white. That's the concept of that. Of the white family cloaking themselves in the house, the electromagnetism of the Black melanin. And that's how they've been getting out of the air from the stratosphere. Of the Airbnb, air space. That's how they've been getting out and pass. By renting through the contracts, through the sacrifice of the Black American. Not just the Black American who built the country. The Black Americans built the country, and it's the house, and that's the 3D level. The 3D is obviously the Black Americans built up the country, and then the whites live in it, and whites live in the White House, and the Blacks live in the basement. As far as the stratification, racial stratification, that's obviously true. That's the 3D version of it. When you get into the spiritual version of this, it's above, so below. That's where you start to see the real codes of this movie. This is what they're warning about. They're trying to tell the white folk, the power players, you're not going to be able to, to continue this anymore. You want to get out to the air, to the stratosphere, you're going to have to, that increase of radiation is going to happen. You're going to have to stop blocking the sun. And as far as your internet communications, your radio signals or telecommunications with your 5G, we shut that down. And you won't be able to eat off the soul plasma of the Black American. Okay, that's what they living in that house from that Black family, and then the white lady acting all shocked. So they see that he's still ungrateful. Okay, he's still ungrateful. That's in the spiritual realm. That's the white folks swiping the plasma of Black folks so that they can get out of the stratosphere, and then they still act ungrateful. That's why she was acting like, "Oh, you rent this house? This is your house? This your house? The Black family in the house?" I mean, she wasn't doing all that, but I'm saying that's the energy he's giving off. Like, what? And then he says the wife is in Morocco. The Black woman, the headdress of the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty is a Moorish headdress. And we all know that was originally a Black woman designed by a French guy. Liberty and freedom are two different things. Always remember that. We are a maritime admiralty law. Look up liberty and a maritime sea law. This is a code. This is some deep shit. We going deep. Okay. Wife is in Morocco. More. So yes, they also allude to, you also want to get out that stratosphere. And this is controversial, but this is what they see. This is how they communicate with each other at the top levels. They say the average white person that's a Hitchtown redneck, they don't know none of this shit. They don't know nothing. But at the higher levels, they're communicating and say they're gonna have to get with that. They're gonna have to literally what's it? Miscegenation. That's the only word I can think of it. They're gonna do the miscegenation. This is how they're communicating at the top level. So it's watching this. You have to get access to the electromagnetism of the black woman through the pussy. The electromagnetism through the black man through the dick. That's why I see Julia Roberts and a father, they kind of doing that little dance, whatever. And the black man, the white boy masturbating over the black girl. You have to swipe. You have to get through the electromagnetism. You have to harness the electromagnetism of the black melanin through sex, or you can wait till that radiation beam your ass is darker anyways. But you're not going to be able to swipe the identity of the electromagnetism when things go haywire. You're not going to be able to rent the house of the black family. I'll tell you another code. You guys think I'm just, I didn't went left. Again, this is how they're communicating at the top, over your heads, by the way. But the bunker, they had the Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben soul plasma. Wake your ass up. That's the electromagnetism. Yeah. They can no longer eat off of black Americans. They're letting you know in the code. For the 3D consciousness realm, you just think is, they trying to show that they trying to get us they trying to warn the black American. They're trying to warn the white folks about the black Americans, and they trying to do da. No, that Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben, that's the soul plasma, soul food of the black American, renting the house from the Airbnb from the black family. Society breaks down. Come on, radiation increases, radio signals go off, telecommunications go off. Why would radiation come? Why would radiation hit? That's electric plasma hitting? Why would And so you have to get out the stratosphere the old-fashioned way. Old-fashioned, Uncle Ben, Aunt Jemima. Old-fashioned, soul food, soul plasma. That's what this is about. You got to get out. They're trying to let them know you're going to have to get out the old-fashioned way. This is deeper. We're talking about for the executive levels that don't have enough plasma to hit them out of the stratosphere of 3D consciousness, and they have to keep coming back down to this realm. Oh, yeah. They communicate with each other. The executives and the people that produce the movies, the politicians. This is what this is all about. So they got y'all. They trying to program the 3D level, though. They trying to program y'all to just get in division and be fighting in race-based shit. But these niggas is trying to come up with a plan of how they going to get out. The bunkers and all this stuff. Because they don't have the melanin anymore. They don't have the black American. Yes, the Moors are getting back in power and they're going to be out in the open. And they won't be the corrupt ones, the corrupt black nobility that sold out the bloodlines. It won't be that version. And so they know that. At the top, they know that. They realize that, they really not running shit like that no more. But it's a new bloodline that's technically related to them, but they're just not corrupt. And they're the ones that supposed to be running it. And it is off of bloodline. You guys can get mad at it, but it is what it is. You guys think, I guess you guys actually think your vote matters or whatever. That's fine. Continue. It's a ritual. Go vote. Vote means to bow. And so you got to get out the stratosphere the old-fashioned way through having melanin, or you can wait to evolve melanin via the infusion of radiation and evolution. You can do it that old-fashioned way. As far as the radio signals and the telecommunications and internet going down, that ain't shit to worry about. Ain't nothing to be afraid about. The references to the Black American indigenous and African bloodline and telecommunication, that's obviously, they know that your ass is already. This is not me putting anybody on blast or just spilling the beans on any society or any Black Americans that can do this. What I'm saying is they know that you guys are communicating through telepathy and managing the molecular action of electromagnetism. They know that you guys are doing that and capable of doing that. They cannot do that. They know that you have that gift. They cannot do that. There's nothing they can do to stop you from doing that. The only thing they can do is say that what we're saying is crazy and that we're crazy and that you guys shouldn't believe that. And so that you guys can stay in 3D consciousness. That's all they can do, is to come up with a whole bunch of propaganda to make people that try to get you the truth sound crazy or try to tell you that they crazy, and so that you guys don't look that way. But for those of us that have that gift and can do that, you're fine, you're protected. It doesn't mean anything. But for those who are like, well, how are we going to communicate? We don't have the internet. We don't have the radio. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We don't satellites are down. You don't live it, but if the satellites are down, you don't, you sell satellite phones won't mean shit either. Well, you guys know how to motherfucking communicate through your fucking electromagnetism, through your mind. You are the internet. You are the radio signal. The fuck? Come on, melanin people. You are the radio signal. Far away. Since you could be in Buffalo, you could be in wherever near. You can send a shit all 3,000 miles away. Think I'm playing? I know for a fact this can happen. 3,000 miles away, you can communicate and tap into somebody else's computer or tap into somebody else's head and fuck with their shit through your mind. Black American. And nobody can do anything about it. The only thing they can say is that person who's saying that is crazy. That's the only thing they can say. They ain't got nothing else they can do. They don't have nothing else. They don't have that level of frequency. And so their whole job is to get you from never getting on that frequency. And it's not even so much about a melanin thing. There are white folks that can do this. Sure. And now, but the thing is, what they trying to do is mimic us, mimic the watchers, mimic the interdimensional high vibrational beings by coming up with Neuralink and putting shit in your brain so that you can communicate telepathically with the computer through the Neuralink. Come on. So I can't be saying nothing that's too crazy because they already got the technology. They're already trying to put the technology out there. They got talking about some volunteers, 11 volunteers volunteer to go put the chip in their brain so that they can communicate telepathically with a chip. You can do that. You don't need a damn chip for that. Come on. You don't need a chip for that. You need to awaken. You need to work on the energy wheels within your body. Sure you do. You need to open crown chakra. And grounded, of course, because I opened my crown chakra and I wasn't grounded. I was all in fucking galaxy. Oh man. So you gotta have some image management and some self-awareness with it too, because when you open your crown chakra, it could be, especially if you just did it on a whim through sex or through God just woke your ass up because she wanted you woke or whatever happened. And it just was an accident or you don't know what the hell going on. Oh my gosh. Be very careful. But it's coming. And so Black Americans, you have a chance to reach that 9, 12, 20, 45 and beyond D. If the damn internet go down, do not panic. If you fall for that psyop and start fighting it again, what we gonna do? You fell right into the 3D trap, right into what the social engineering was supposed to do for you. So now I have to move quickly. So I want to give you a prophecy that I had a dream. Oh man, it was just a dream. Some people say the dreams are real. The dreams are just the subconscious slugs of the day manifesting throughout the conscious mind manifesting through the subconscious mind. Whatever. Some people believe that there are parallel universes in the dreams that you visit, that you astral project when you visit, that you could see it, you could travel in the future, travel in the past, whatever. But I know I had a dream. I had a dream this week that there was an Atlantean regime, an Atlantean army, Atlantean military that is above 45D, 45th dimension, that can literally cloak their bodies in their ships, in and out of will, that they invaded this planet. I had a dream about that. I had a dream that they had an army so strong there was nothing. And our government started to become in a dream. This was all in a dream, mind you. Our government started to become aware of it. There was nothing that they couldn't do anything. They couldn't do nothing. They couldn't do anything. Like, this army was so motherfucking strong and vast with their ships. Oh man, that like I saw like our government, like they was like, using their stealth technology, using everything that they had. They got some things that the public don't know about, obviously, and they was using all this shit on these beings. And we saw these beings, like, they'll have a ship, and whatever you fired out on the ship just disappeared right in there. It just would disappear. Not only did they do this with the ships, is when they got off the ships, they did it with their body. They did it like their body was disappearing. Like they'll get off the ships, right, and then they just disappeared. But they were still here. They were still obviously here. They just cloaked themselves and made themselves invisible. Invisible. And they were here. And they came. The queen sent them here. It was a queen. She was dressed in purple. She is not here. She's still in the Atlantean dimension, the Atlantis dimension. But she sent them here, her folk here. And they here by, they invaded. They have literally invaded this planet. And this was all a dream. It's all a dream. So the next day, I find it really interesting. Like, there's a video going around with Black Americans in the video. They put up a video screaming and cussing because they said they saw a big ass mothership. In the video, they literally said mothership dropped off all these other spaceships, right? They just dropped them all. And it's a video of it, all on the internet. Off the sky, then they disappear. The mothership goes away. And then you just see all of these ships just parallel, like moving in formation and stuff. That's what I saw in the dream. I said the next day, and the video is still out there. It was on Brother Kalai's channel. He put it up there. But the Black Americans in the video screaming, "Oh my gosh, what the fuck is that? That's a ship! Oh my gosh, what is that? Oh my gosh, it was a mothership." The mothership. And I try to, oh my God, come on. I was saying this stuff. I had saw this stuff, man. But that dream, and then for the next day, for that video to come out like that. But in the dream, because even though the queen, I could see the queen from her dimension, and she was communicating to me in the dream of why she sent them here and why they was all around running around. But they're 45D beings, so they can go in and out at will, pretty much. They can cloak themselves, make themselves invisible. They can run around. You won't be able to see them. You don't have to believe it. We really don't. Nobody gives a fuck whether humans are prepared for this knowledge or not. Whether, like, if you that behind, nobody cares. Like, if you're still in 3D thinking, right? And so they came here to rescue some individuals who have the DNA markers. Particularly, there's some humans that called out to them through this stellar communication that they can do through their DNA. So they're not here to actually save all of humanity. They're not here. They're very they're kind of shrewd, I would say, from the energy I got from them. They just want to help their own. And they also are going to activate some of the humans here that have not activated yet through the timelines that they agreed to from the soul contracts and the soul missions that they came here for. They are going to forcefully, in your dreams, visit you and activate your shit for you in the dream. And you're going to know because some of you are not on the proper timeline. I wasn't on the proper timeline either. And so I'm not judging. And I had got the wind slapped out of me by God for not awakening fast enough. Because some of us agreed to come here on mission work, various roles and positions that we're supposed to play here. And so some of you are not waking up. Some of you have been trapped. The matrix has been a lure, and it trapped me. So I'm not judging. It had almost trapped me, right? And so you're just getting to wake up. So if you guys start having dreams about interdimensional beings visiting you and taking you up, it don't freak out. You're not crazy or anything. Also, this regime, this Atlantean regime, they got beef with the beings that's the interdimensional inorganic reptilian being that's also running this. They got beef with them. They pissed off their queen. She sent her people, her military down here. Yes, that makes our stuff look like a baby playing with a logo toy or something. You know how a baby play with a G.I. Joe toy? That's how they make our military look. These beings. And they have taught us a lot of stuff in the past. But they're back. And she made it very clear, who she was pissed off with. She's not pissed off with humanity. She's pissed off at a particular, not even all reptilians. She's not even pissed off at all. Because that's a whole other talk. In the dream, she was saying, I'm pissed off at these motherfuckers because they decided to trap some of her people. Some of the descendants of the dragon riders. So they're going to be going around activating the light codes in the DNA of certain humans. And these are some bad motherfuckers, man. In that dream, I saw our government doing everything they had in their power to stop it. Nothing worked. Nothing at all. I ain't never seen that level of power before. I have from the chaos intelligence. The chaos intelligence room is more powerful than the Atlantean dimension room. But that Atlantean, those Atlantis dimension them beings, oh, they ain't no motherfucking joke. I said, why y'all pissed off their queen? Huh? I'm pissed off their queen. Now, I could sound crazy. This is all in a dream. If it's just a dream, it's just a dream. You know, all it could be is just a dream, right? Hopefully it's just a dream, right? But that's what I saw. I saw that in a dream. I sure did. And the next day, you got some Black Americans screaming all on the internet talking about, oh my gosh, a mothership. And not just Black Americans, there's all types of white folks, all types of Asian folks, all on the internet talking about they saw ships and they saw this and they saw beings dropping out of a ship and all this stuff. And everybody thinking that, nah, man, no. It's time. It's time. You know, and so nothing worked, and they're going to be messing with the radio signals and the telecommunications, and that's what the movie's trying to forebode about. Trying to forebode about that. So next, I want to get into the Kanye West rant. I got about like 8 minutes left, so let me try to wrap this up in 8 minutes. Kanye West rant. I understood him. You know, I think his brain works faster than the average person. He has honeycomb mind. He works in a creative space, the creative emotion space. So he's not logic based. That doesn't mean he's not genius or he's not smart. Okay, it's very different. So he's working in the creative emotional space because of the gifts that he had, obviously the gift of music. And so he wants to give out a bunch of codes and information at once, too fast. His brain's working so fast, and so it could come off staccato, it could come off discoordinate. But for those in the know, we know. We put the stuff together, and we're like, oh yeah, we understood everything he was saying. I understood everything he was saying. And he's communicating for people from a certain frequency. If you're descendant of the dragon riders, there's certain information that you know or you're aware of. If you are aware of some esoteric information, then what Kanye West said is not crazy to you. No, I don't think he's crazy. I think he had to play 5D chess in the Hollywood game, in the music industry game. We know that's a brutal ass game. You gotta play 5D chess in a contract deal game. Okay, it's not a game that the average human would ever understand. That shit, you got to talk in code. Everything you do is in code. It's the world of the occult. Okay, and so it's run like a chess game in terms of getting out. You bartering with your soul pretty much in that industry, in and out, deal out. Can you get a hitch out? Can you get a ride out? You're dealing pretty much. You're bartering your electromagnetism, your soul plasma. You do this through the contracts, or you can do this through sex. We all know what the industry is about. And not saying he did. With him, he dealt with it through the contract shit. That's why he said, I got 8 contracts. Nobody told me I had 8 contracts. And then look at the contract. And he put his contract out on the internet and Twitter. Then he came in with a rant talking about he was upset about how the people was putting the black folk in the contract. Wake up. And you guys know this. I may be Johnny come lately. Y'all all know this. Y'all just want to play stupid and dumb. And that's why I don't respect cowards. I don't respect cowardly energy. It's not honorable to me. It's not God body. But many of y'all know what he's talking about. The industry know what he's talking about. So he's not fucking crazy. And a lot of the stuff, those who are not privy to the 5D chess game or don't understand how to barter with, they don't understand like the Murder of Reality book. Y'all want to know some shit? You want to put on some game? Read the Murder of Reality. I think it's Pierre Sabank or something like that. But the book is called Murder of Reality. It's a game of how this all works. They talk about the serpent energy, the Draco energy, how people barter in and out with their electromagnets and with their soul, how to deceive people in the industry, deception, and how to get in and get it out. It's not an enlightening book. You won't get. I'm just saying if you're curious about how the shit works, if you're curious what I'm talking about, again, that book they're about to make that book a couple $1,000s too, or take it off the print. So hurry up and get it. Hurry up and buy. Murder of Reality. Yeah, so that's pretty much the game Kanye West had to play. All them niggas had to play that game. It's a brutal game. It's not the game that the average human would ever play. Okay? And so anytime you get out of line, or I'll say this, let me back up. So anytime he says stuff, it's going to fly over the unawakened head. Anybody that's unawakened or anybody that's just in the matrix is going to fly over their head. They ain't going to know what the fuck he's talking about. And that's good for the people that run him. And that's good for the people that run the industry because all you got to do is say, oh, anytime a celebrity get out of line, you just say that they crazy. And then you have your handlers. They have the handlers try to kill that person or lock them up or they freeze their account and whatnot, like they did with Kanye West. Obviously, overnight, he wasn't a billionaire anymore, froze his accounts, sued, IRS came after him. His CIA intelligence trainer came after him, talking about they gonna lock him up and give him drugs and medication, all that stuff. The same stuff they try to do to me. Yeah, this is what happens. And I'm not even a fucking celebrity. So imagine what they do. They do this to the celebrities, but they do this to people in, that their parents is involved in bullshit too. They get real. And so, Kanye West is talking about, he spoke up about that. He spoke up about the exploitation and the things that was going on with him and what and he tried to get out some codes about the Indians, codes about the Moors, codes about, America, codes about, the families that run the system and all this stuff. He tried to get it all out all fast and through a soundbite, knowing it's going to go viral. He's about to release an album. So he does that around album time. But the thing is, I know you guys are tired of it, but what he does is he goes out and gives humanity a bunch of truth and codes that knowing that only some people will be able to put it together who are ready for it or who knows but scared to speak out. He speaks for people who can't speak out pretty much. And that clears his karma. Believe it or not, him doing that, it works energetically for him in his favor when he does that. So every time he comes out with an album, he goes out with a big rant, or at the concert when he's telling all the truth about the aliens. And he's Mark Zuckerberg went out to go play with aliens. Y'all thought he was crazy and all this shit. Oh, come on. He speaks in codes. He plays a different game than the average human. He plays the interdimensional game. But he says nobody spoke out for him. Nobody got his back. And no celebrity spoke up for him when he was about his kid and all this stuff when he wanted to go fight to see his kid or when the folks came after him. And he's right. And they're not going to speak up for you, Kanye. They're not. They're under oath. They chose their side. And many are being paid to turn against you. Many are scared cowards. So what do you expect? Why are you even looking for their support? Like, why are you even still in that thinking? They're not going to give you their support. That industry is not going to give you their support. The music industry. You done told all the damn secrets. You done told about how they be sacrificing people. You done told everything. And you're right. They're not going to be able to, they can't touch you. Like you said, you're protected by God. Yeah, but they want to pull they want to pull all the resources from that system. You can't eat off the devil's plate and then turn on it. They're gonna take the whole system away from you. They're gonna try. And so, people are coming at you and they didn't stand up for you. Yeah, that's true. Especially they're not gonna do that in the industry. But these same people want us to look out for P. Diddy and want us to come on instead of someone who spoke out about the exploitation of what they do in them contracts. Come on. So Kanye West also mentioned stuff about the family bloodlines and, how the Indians were also the Black Americans that have been. It's pretty much all the shit we've been talking about on Twitter Space and Clubhouse for years, particularly. That's I'm like, they be sitting on them burners listening to us. I know they be sitting on them burners listening to me for all them years. I was giving out game and talking shit. Because they be sounding some of the stuff that they say, even down to the words and the timestamps. Like we have the timestamps of the things that we have been saying for years on YouTube, on Twitter Spaces, on Clubhouse, and on like the ordinary level, the grassroots level of Black Americans. And then like to see Kanye West go in, like talking the way he was talking, I'm like, yo, like, do y'all listen to us on fucking burners? I think P. Diddy do. I mean, he was talking about the tribe and the Black Americans and the reparations. I think all them niggas be listening to us on burners. And I think they want to make moves. They know about the prophecies. They know about a lot of the prophecies on a spiritual level. But they, once again, dealt with that in that den of iniquity. They got in too deep with that system. And like he said, in the video, Kanye West says, give me 5 more minutes. Kanye West says, by the time they got to P. Diddy, not P. Diddy, R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, it was too late. And he's right. He's talking spiritual. Y'all don't see the game. He's talking about the murder reality game that they play, but the deal game, the 5D chess. You work too much in a system, then you participated in the debauchery of their system, but they got ammunition to hold over your head anytime you get out of line. Then by the time you try to get out, you don't have the power, the protection, the spiritual backing to get out. You can't make the moves Dave Chappelle made, going to Africa and all that stuff and run out of $50 million. You don't have that energy. You don't have the power backing you. You went to go to Africa to get some fucking protection. It'd be too late. And so that system devours the entities on them contracts, devour your ass, pretty much. Devour your ass. And it's time to pay up. Time to pay up. Contract, they don't want to renew the contract, deal's done. Or you didn't live up to the contract, whatever. However they going to do it. And so that's the murder reality game that they play. Read that book. I know I'm giving out game. I'm a renegade. I'm not in that. I'm not a civilian in that world. I'm just speaking as an intuitive, spiritual, esotericist, oracle, queen mother, priestess, goddess, god, primordial, chaos intelligence being. I'm just speaking from, I can see things interdimensionally. So I'm just speaking from that point of view. But Kanye West was right when he said by the time Bill Cosby and so yeah, you may be getting railroaded unfairly, but you gave them the ammunition. You played ball with their system. You played the murder reality game. You played that Bill system game and got involved with them entities. And then when they clamor down, you don't have the protection. See, Kanye West, he knows he's descended of dragon riders. He when he talk that shit about he the Jews and he's Jewish, he ain't crazy. He know exactly where his protection come from and why they not touching him. He said it's been a year, and he talk about how when he mentioned the Rothschilds and the thousand, and he say such and such they know they think I'm going to do that now. Come on, But he talks about that. He talked about like how he gave he mentioned briefly in a rant that how the system is ran. That's actually incorrect. I'll correct him though. He's somewhat correct, but he's too low level. See, in the entertainment industry, you only get a certain amount of information. So he thinks, it's God, and then he said it's the families, the family that ran for 1,000 years, the Medici. No, that ain't nothing, honey. I'm just keep it a buck. That's nothing. That family stuff, that's the front. That's what they want you to think. I'll give you briefly how it's ran. It's God. Primordial is God, which is a part of the chaos intelligence realm. That's the energy that creates the galaxies, solar systems, universes, planets, all the species. Then you have the chaos intelligence governance. This is ran by the divine feminist. It's a governance. That is the governance of the chaos intelligence. Then you have the GIA. That is a intelligence agency that monitors radiation, electromagnetism, and planets, solar systems, and in the universes as well. It's deep. Then after that, you have the Order of Kali. It's the branch of the primordial mother. These are the bloodlines that get promoted to the governance realm. Where the person from that becomes a chief architect and a great mother comes from. They come from the Order of Kali. You have also the Order of Tahuti. You can come from either one of these realms. Then after that, you have the Dragon Riders. This is where Yeshua comes from, Kanye West. This is where Yeshua comes from, the Dragon Riders. It's descended. This is where the bloodlines of the Ethiopian Jews, indigenous bloodlines, melanated bloodlines. This is where they come from. Then you have your angels. This is the dragon. I'm sorry. Let me get this straight. This is the Dragon Riders that created those bloodlines. They don't come from. They created those bloodlines. Okay. Also, this is the Dragon Rider. This is the Order of Kali's. The order. I'm going to make sure I get this right. Dragon Riders branch off into the Atlantean dimension as well. Then you have your angels, and this is galaxy wide. Then you go to Earth. Then you come to this universe. You have Earth. This Earth is ran by the fallen angels. Obviously, it's still ran by God. Again, what he's talking about is it's ran by the creator God, the God above that. But on Earth, as far as of what's running 3D, it's the fallen angels. It is Lucifer and the homunculus deities that the fallen angels created that you humans think are more powerful. Then you got the black nobility, the sellouts who are half human and half fallen angel. They are descendants of dragon riders who sold out the bloodlines of the Africans and the Indians and the Moorish women. Then you have the families, the families that you were talking about, the families that have been running for 1,000 years, and all the bloodlines that run everything. The white families that are a front to hide. They protect the black nobility. They answer to them. Then you have the Black Rock. Then you have the secret societies. Then you have the bankers, the corporations, and the governments. Then the entertainment industry. So that's the correct way. I'm just, when Kanye said that, I was just kind of like, no, that ain't how it go. But Kanye West, I understood your rant. I understood what you were saying. I do. I understand. I don't agree with everything you say and everything you do, and nobody does, right? So that's fair. And you don't need yes men around you. You need some niggas that really got your back, like you say. You like, nobody got my back. Nobody's around. Why you not around some black people that understand you, or even some people, not even just black people? Why you not around niggas that understand you and are gonna have your back? Some of them Hebrew Israelites that know that know what you be talking about. Some of them people from the NOI. Some of the people that's not even from Black American community. Some it's people that understand what you're saying. Why you around niggas at Zeus Network? With Jules, come on, why are you? What was it, Jules? Yes, Jules or whatever. What are you? Why are you around? Of course, them niggas don't know what the hell you talking about. And some do, but they scared to speak up. They ain't gonna have your back openly. Why are you around Hollywood folks? And then you complain that no one is with you, just God. It's plenty of people who don't think you're crazy. It's plenty of regular people. If you've been called by God to be a vessel and be a prophet, and speak out the truth at all times, you have to speak out the truth at all times. You must stay protected. Why you want to be in that den of iniquity so bad? I understand, you got to make your money. You build an infrastructure, and whatnot. You bought all that land out in Colorado, whatever. Where's your queen mothers to help give you help you with this plan of action? Not handlers, but people that's really like ready to build the society that you're talking about. You got the resources, you got the mind, you got the genius. You work in a creative, emotional space, Kanye West. You do not work in a logical space. That's not a bad thing. But you need people around you that can execute your vision in a logical manner, not control you, not try to tell you what to say or what to do, but they got to see you for who you are. Not some celebrity, not some rapper, they got to see you for who you truly are, the soul level of Kanye. And even though you got honeycomb mind, it's still there. It's still there. And for you, that works in your favor. Even though they cut off your thought, like what they tried to do. And I'm not going to get too spiritual. That's too spiritual. And that information does not need to be revealed to you yet. You wouldn't be able to handle it. So I'm not going to go there with you. But Kanye West, if you riding out like that, you got to ride out. You got to, and a lot of people don't agree with it. A lot of people think you should shut up and not call out people because you're going to make it black hot for everybody else or whatever. When the fuck are y'all going to stand up? When are y'all going to say the truth? All of you black niggas know what Kanye West is saying. That when he called out about the exploitation of the contracts and all this stuff, y'all know that he's right to talk about that, about how the Black American music and music apparatuses are controlled and we don't own the distribution. What's wrong with saying that? Why y'all come on? And so with Kanye, you getting mad at them for not saying nothing. Them niggas is under oath. So they're not gonna say nothing. And so you need to get around people that's gonna back you. Regular Joe Schmo Black Americans. You said we Indian. Why you not around the Black American Indians? There's plenty of Black American indigenous that been saying the same shit you been saying for years on Clubhouse. You used to talk for hours about this shit you talked about. It's nothing new to us. It's nothing new whatsoever. Like it's like we wake up knowing about this shit, talking about this shit. So why you not around them? Why you not around Black Americans that can hold you down? Them Hebrew Israelites, we talk. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I'm a Jew, but I don't practice the Hebrew Israelite. I practice the pre-Adamic civilization Jew culture, which comes from the descendants of the dragon riders, which is what Yeshua was, priest of Melchizedek. He was a priest of Melchizedek and the descendant of the dragon riders. Now that, for those who know, it gets spiritual. It's a lot of stuff in the mystery schools they don't teach you, but it gets deep as far as our connections or the dragon riders actually descend from. And again, that's where the Atlantean dimension comes from. So it gets deep. The Jew bloodline, melanated bloodline of the Jew or Hebrew is not earthbound. I hope you guys know that. Hebrew language is not earthbound. You guys know that. It's hypertext. Come on. You guys know that. So I don't think I should have to go into that. It's not earthbound. It's not at all. Very powerful. And this is why they don't want you awakening. This is why they want everybody in the Matrix. You know, we all know that. And so Kanye West, get around some real niggas. I mean, come on, you around Zeus, you around Natalie Nunn and all that. She's still fighting up. And I'm not judging because I watch Zeus Network. I watch Jocelyn's Cabaret. So I definitely ain't got to stick up my ass about where people at and all that stuff. But I know me as a chaos intelligence being. I'm not about to go around Zeus Network and talk the shit that I be talking on about the things that I like to talk about, the philosophy and the esoteric occult knowledge and all these things. I would not go to this Zeus Network producers and be hollering in a room full of them niggas. No, I have to go where a prophet. What they say, a prophet don't preach among their own. They gotta leave and go find. They don't. And so that's what you gotta realize. That entertainment industry, you're not gonna go in there and profit to them people and prophesize to them people or witness to them people. And people don't give a fuck about none of that stuff you're talking about. They care about bags, Gucci bags, money, and keeping their contract deals in line, keeping a bag on the table. So and they know what you're saying is true. They know deep down. They go to sleep at night and they know like he ain't lying. They know. They don't give a fuck, Kanye West. At the end of the day, them people, they made their choice. They don't care about none of that shit you talking about, Kanye West. Not at all. Not at all. So that's something you gotta realize. You want to go on them little diatribes every time an album come out. That's cool and all. You give out light codes. You give out a bunch of codes for people to put together that only the most intelligent gonna be able to put together. And then you take the hits because they're gonna say you crazy. Everybody gonna say you crazy, even though you're not. No, I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy by a long shot. Not at all. I see you had to play that murder reality 5D chess game though in that industry, and like you said, in that the clip they got where they show you when they say gotcha. When you say all I did was put out a tweet and and gotcha, that's the 5D chess you was playing. I saw it for what it is. You play over their heads. And you better keep God on your side because the moment you go back into that den, they will devour you. Because there is a contract still out there. I see it in the spiritual realm. And so God got you. You can break, you can do whatever you want when once you become aware of something, right? So God got you, but do not run back to that shit. And yeah, I see what you do and all that stuff, but you could have been more powerful if you. I ain't gonna get into that either. But you're fine. I would say is as far as you're working in the creative emotional space, as far as expression, going on these panic rants, and image management and ego management. That's what I had to work on. I had to work on that too. When you have an open crown chakra, it's very easy to go into to you'll say the truth or whatever. You say certain things, and you say certain things that everybody is thinking, but you move so fast, your brain moves so fast that the outsider is going to be like, oh, you're crazy. And so if you don't care about that, then that's fine. But as far as like the ideas that you have that you want to build, cities that you want to build, you need people around you that can work in a different headspace of planning and logic to get that done if you're in a creative emotion space. And so you don't have to listen to me. I'm just a woman at the well, so you do what you're gonna do. But and you gotta get around some real niggas, man. Get around some real folk. Get around some people that gonna have your back. And that would, and a lot of Black Americans, as much as you have done, but it's a lot of Black Americans that's still riding for you. So, and white folk, as much as you have done, even some Jews. Obviously, the Black Jews rock with you because they understand what you said. It's Black Jews that rock with you, But it's even with all the stuff you say about George Floyd and White Lives Matter was a code. I understand it was a 5D chess thing. So but it's some people that still that even Farrakhan spoke out on your behalf. Even Farrakhan spoke out about what happened, and that's what I'm saying. You need to get around people like that because he one of the only ones that said leave him alone, leave Kanye alone when all that stuff was happening towards you. He was the only one of the only ones. But you looking for celebrities to have your back. You're looking for, celebrity. Like, come on, no, them days are done, honey. You don't went out with a bang. You don't went out. You don't broke half of the damn magnetosphere with the shit you was saying about them people. How you put them people on blast. They ain't ever gonna forget it. And they gonna pay niggas to turn on you. And they gonna have that system against you. Like you said, that Uber wasn't working and they was sabotaging your shows and Yeah, they gonna do that. You gotta everything gonna be on your own. And you still gonna have your influence. And you still gonna, but with God, all things are possible, right? And so that's what I would say. Kanye West. And for those who listen to this video in its entirety and they understood what I said about the plasma, the soul plasma, the electromagnetism and the radio signals and telecommunication. Remember, he said, fuck radio, Kanye West. You guys will see all of the codes that I put out. Everything that I put it all together when I went from different topics in this video for a reason. Gave you the prophecy, the dream that I had. Talked about Kanye West, his rant, and the things he put out. Talked about the left behind. Leave the world behind? Leave the world behind, Kanye. For those who are on that level, put them codes together that I put out. The Murder of Reality, that book, Psychomancy, them books. And we got deep, and I know I be deep. I know I'm a very deep teacher. I don't spoon feed. I don't baby. I don't cradle. I go in with just right over the head, bam, whack your ass right over the head with the information. And I don't mean it like that because information is not important at this day and age. You know, I'm getting in the wisdom stage. I'm wanting more wisdom for myself and for my people, and I get that I can be a hothead, but in a very unorthodox teacher. But at the same time, I'm putting this stuff out here, and it's not without slack. You know, I took a lot of hits, and I take a lot of hits coming with being a renegade because I don't play that game either, and so I take a lot of hits. But I put out this stuff so that those who are thinking and those who are just wondering what the hell going on, so they could put this stuff together. Kanye West knows exactly what I'm talking about with this. But when I talk about soul plasma, he be dealing with them Kardashians and shit, Them gypsies. It is what it is, brother. We tried to warn you. We all tried to warn you. And we try to warn a lot of people, but you guys don't listen. But you good. You good. You all good. Everything's gonna be good at the end of the day. So that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna talk to. Oh, this is Terriana Brockman. Oh, peace. It's nice to catch you on live. Oh, thank you. Nice to hear from you too, Terriana Brockman. And the Scorpion Throne. Been seeing this type of stuff for real. You said you had a dream. What'd she say? She said, I had a dream that we revolted against the government. We got help from beings on. See? Oh yeah. And you probably one of those Atlantean, got the Atlantean codes, one of the descendants of the Dragon Riders, and they coming. So you done it. You said you had a dream too. Wow. So it's real. It's deep out here. This stuff is. Oops. Let me play that. So I'm gotta get out of here because I got a meeting I gotta get to. I hope you're not in there just waiting. So I'm gonna talk to you guys later, and stay up. Love you. Bye.